The White House tweeted out this handy chart, despite Fed Chair Jerome Powell testifying the day before that inflation would persist well into 2022. The cover of the New York Post with one word about our journey right now: crushed. Steve Moore, former economic advisor to President Trump and FreedomWorks economist. Steve, good to have you in focus today. So when the New York Post describes what Americans are feeling right now as crushed, tell us what that means economically.
So I was just listening to your fascinating conversation with Mark Siegel and how the Biden administration can't seem to get its message straight on COVID, and exactly the same thing is happening with their economic messaging. So remember, on Friday, the president gave a speech at the Oval Office taking a victory lap and saying how wonderful the Biden economy is. I've had the best first year as president of any president in modern times, and so on. And then 2 or 3 days later, Harris, these numbers come out on inflation, which are frighteningly bad. These are extremely damaging numbers. You're talking about, not only did we get the 7% inflation number, which is the worst in 35 to 40 years, but we also this morning, Harris, got a number for the wholesale producer prices. Those were up almost 10% over the last year. That was the worst number ever that they've recorded. So this is what I call a huge tax on lower income people. It really calls out the lie when Biden says, well, I'm only going to tax people who make less than $400,000 or more than $400,000. Wait a minute. Every time you go to the grocery store, every time you go to the gas pump, every time you make an airline purchase, you are paying this Biden inflation tax, and it's hurting the people at the bottom the most.
Look, I started this hour by saying we're going to put the facts up against the spin. But when it spins this hard, let's just call it what it is. It's fiction. Okay, here's some more. Only 34% of Americans approve of the president's handling of the economy. Again, that's a fact that we're seeing time and time again in the polling. Maybe it will change, but not right this second. That means 57% disapprove of the way this president is handling the economy. Steve, I've heard you say time and time again, you can look at the numbers, but you have to listen to the people.
Well, great point. And the Americans have really turned against Biden on the economy because they feel, look, this is something that doesn't need spin. It doesn't matter what you say or what I say or the president says. Every time people go to the store, they see it. You know, I went to the grocery store yesterday to grab some milk. And first of all, there wasn't much milk left. That's another problem. You know, we're running out of stuff at the stores. But people were complaining, you know, in the line. People were talking about how much food costs right now. I just don't see a solution. Here's the thing. All Biden does is blame someone else or kind of deflect the criticism. He's now saying things like, well, gee, you know, this is a natural consequence of the economy getting out of the virus situation. Number one, that we're still in a virus situation.
Yeah, we're not getting out of it.
If you look at what the Exactly. If you look at the inflation number in January of 2021, exactly a year ago, Harris, when the economy was in a recovery under Trump, you know what the inflation rate was? 1.5%. So in 1 year, we've went from 1.5% inflation to 7%. That's a pretty crummy record.
You know what? You started to say something, and I wrote it down. You didn't finish. You said, I don't see a solution. Does that mean that there's no solution, or you don't see one coming from this White House? What can be done?
Okay, that's a great point. Yes, of course there's a solution to the inflation problem. You have to do two things, Harris. Number one, we have to stop the massive spending and borrowing, the multi-trillions of dollars. That's the reason we have the inflation, is we keep spending and spending and spending amounts that we've never seen before in the history of this country. And thank God, I mean, thank God for Joe Manchin killing that Build Back Better bill. That would have been another $5 trillion of spending that we can't afford. So that's the most important thing. We should start cutting spending, not raising spending. Number two, the Fed also has to take a big part of the blame here. Harris, they have been behind the curve for the last year. First, they said there was no inflation. Then they said it's transitory inflation. Now they have finally admitted that inflation may be, quote, entrenched in the economy. So it's time to start raising interest rates, cutting government spending. And if that happens, yeah, we can get we can get the inflation under control. But I'm old enough to remember the last time we had inflation like this. Jimmy Carter was president, and don't forget what happened, Harris. We had Ronald Reagan, one of the biggest landslide elections in history, because people were so frustrated with rising prices.
Well, and you kind of take me to this final point on all of this, Steve, and that is if he can't raise, he being the president, can't raise all of those trillions of cash to pump into the economy and keep his promise about Build Back Better and all these other big spending programs, then he loses the left side, the far left side of his base. He's politically in more trouble than he is right now. And the only thing facing him is less than 300 days away now, November 8th. Steve, I got to let you go, but I'll bring you back. Thanks for being in focus.
Great point. Thanks.